Hi, everybody, and welcome to Principles of Marketing here at Tennessee Tech University. My name is Matthew Harrison, and I will be your instructor this semester. This particular section of Marketing 3400 is the 100% online section of marketing. So this is online asynchronous, not to be confused with online synchronous. So what that means for us is that there are no live or face-to-face meetings for our course. Everything is delivered online. I post your assignments every Monday, and you have until Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. to get those assignments completed. Um, that being said, if you do have a specific question about something and you need to talk to me, I'm always happy to do that with you. We can schedule a Zoom appointment and we can Zoom to talk about any questions you have. I also listed my email here for you, mtharrison@tntech.edu. Email is generally one of the best ways to get in touch with me. I do check my email religiously. I had those professors in college that you would email and you didn't get a response for like a month, it felt like, and I just always swore that I would not be that person. So I am here to help you with anything and everything you need. I do reply within 24 hours or less. I do prefer that you use the Tennessee Tech email as opposed to the iLearn email, simply because I have my Tennessee Tech email on my cell phone and I can reply to you more quickly that way, as opposed to iLearn where I have to get on a computer first to be able to reply. So there's that. Um, that being said, I also, even though there are no live face-to-face meetings, I do create a series, or I have created a series of YouTube video lectures such as these for you to watch, where I hit all the highlights for the course and all the important things that you need to know for that particular chapter. This is an introductory marketing course, so you're probably not going to leave being, you know, knowing everything there is to know about marketing. However, you will grasp the basics, and if you hopefully it'll inspire you to become more interested in marketing. Maybe you'll become a marketing minor or a marketing major. So that being said, one of the major takeaways in our course is in regards to the 4 P's of marketing: product, price, place, and promotion. And all of our modules in this course will be centered around those 4 P's. We also hit some other more popular topics in marketing, such as consumer behavior, social and mobile marketing, and those types of things as well. This is the textbook that we're going to be using for this course. It is Gruel and Levy's Marketing. It is actually this. You can use the 7th or the 6th edition, whichever you prefer. I will tell you the 6th edition is quite a bit cheaper than the 7th. And the 6th edition is going currently for about $10 on Amazon right now, as opposed to the 7th, which is quite a bit more. So if you choose that you want to buy the 6th, that's totally fine. Both of them are almost identical, so feel free to get the 6th if it's less cost prohibitive for you. This is how your grade will be calculated, and I'll talk to you more about this in just a moment, but basically you're going to be doing the same thing for our class every week. I tried to establish a routine for you so that you know what to expect and there are no surprises. I hated surprises as a student, so I try not to give you surprises. That being said, every week you're going to read a chapter in Gruel and Levy's book, and some weeks it's just one chapter. I would say most weeks it's just one chapter, but the way the content is grouped, sometimes there are 2 chapters in one week that you have to read. So just be prepared for that. But anyway, you're going to read that chapter or chapters in the book, and then you're going to watch a YouTube video lecture that I've created talking about the important highlights from that chapter. Once you've read the chapter and you've watched the YouTube video, the next thing you'll do is there's a Quizlet for you to review and study and just get familiar with some of the terminology in the chapter. There's tons of vocabulary in marketing. So the Quizlet is there just to help you get acclimated to that vocab. And once you've done that, once you have read the chapter, watched the YouTube video, studied the Quizlets, you'll have a quiz for each chapter. Just ensuring that you've read those, that you've read it, that you've watched the YouTube videos, that you feel comfortable with the content. And then each week you have some type of written assignment in addition to the quiz. And that written assignment is more application-based in nature. Sometimes it is a marketing application response, a series of questions. Sometimes it's a case study with a unique solution you have to solve. And other times it's a discussion board where you get to interact with your classmates and talk about some type of issue in marketing. So I try to vary up those written assignments for you to keep things interesting. I mean, I'll tell you more about all those in just a moment. At the end of our course, you also have a final exam, which is a departmental exam. We all use the same final. So that's kind of how that works. This is the grading scale that we will use. I do accept late assignments, but honestly, there's really no reason that you would have to turn anything late in this course just because everything is open to you on day one. You have the ability to work ahead. So, this is week one. If you know in week three you're going on a cruise, which probably won't be a problem this year because of COVID, but if you know you're going on a cruise on week three, you can work ahead and not have any assignments to do that week and go on your cruise and live happily ever after, right? So, um, hopefully, there's no reason for you to have to turn anything late and have to have points deducted. Um, as I said, your quizzes will be there, and you do have Quizlets to help you study for those quizzes. The quizzes are cumulative in nature, so the first week when you do chapter one, you're going to have just chapter one questions. And then in the second week, when you go on and you do a different chapter, both of those chapters are going to be mixed together. Okay, so make sure it just helps you to retain that content and develop more mastery with the content. Something you need to know about all of your written assignments in the courses, the marketing application responses, the case studies, and the discussion boards. All of them have very similar requirements. For all of these, you're required to fully answer the question, and then you also must provide 2 key terms from your book. And when I say key terms, what I mean are those bolded words in your textbook. Those are your key terms. You also need to use at least 2 sources to back up your opinion. And that's a marketing department requirement. So 2 sources, that means either like a scholarly journal and a website, or you can use your textbook as one of your sources if you'd like. You do need at least 1 scholarly source each in each paper. So from a peer-reviewed journal, and I will show you how to get those in just one moment. So the marketing application responses, the case studies, and the discussion boards all have that requirement. You need to fully answer the question. You need to use 2 chapter concepts or bolded words, and also 2 external sources in addition to just your own opinion. One of those sources should be scholarly. Okay, hope that makes sense. With the discussion boards, you have to do that stuff, and you also have to reply to at least 2 of your classmates. Make sure your replies are meaningful. I want to be able to tell when I read them that you have fully read your classmates' reply, that you've thought about it, and that you're thinking critically and replying to them. So, and then of course you have the final exam at the end. I made a notation here that all of your submissions require for you to use the 2 external sources and the 2 chapter concepts. I mentioned that again just so it's very clear. Please make sure you're doing that. I ask that you upload your assignment as a PDF, and people always say, gosh, why do I have to do it as a PDF? I will just tell you, iLearn is kind of weird, and some files it just doesn't like it. Sometimes if you upload a document, or like people who use Pages or Google Docs or other things, like it's just helpful if you save it as a PDF and upload it. Just makes it way easier for iLearn, and especially with the grading process. I have to actually download, if you upload it as a Google Doc, I have to download every single file, and it just takes like forever on my computer to download. So it just helps me out if you can do a PDF. I'm not going to yell at you if you forget or anything like that. It just helps me out if you do a PDF. Okay, we've kind of hit the highlights there. I did include a template for submission if you like that. Sometimes the key terms and the external sources and all that can just be hard to grasp for some people at first. So I created that submission template just to help you if you need it, but you don't have to use it. As long as you answer the question, you have the 2 key terms, and you have the 2 sources, then it does not matter. You do not have to use that template. You do need to cite everything using APA format. So that means in your paper, you should be using parenthetical citations, including the author's last name and the year. And then, of course, at the end on your references page, you'll want to make sure you list out the full citation. Academic integrity, make sure you're using your own work, make sure that you're not cheating, make sure you cite your sources properly. You know all of these things. None of this is a surprise to you, hopefully. If you have a disability and you need any kind of accommodation, please don't hesitate to let me know about that. I'm happy to provide those accommodations for you. Again, this is a 100% online course. There are no meetings required, whether those be face-to-face or in person. I do ask that you log into iLearn regularly. I post the announcements on the homepage in iLearn, and I'll be showing you that in just a moment. And I do also email them to you for your convenience as well. And if anything major happens, I send you an email. But as I said, I try to keep things very consistent and easy to understand, and sort of the same thing in a routine for you every week, just so there's no surprises. Um, People always ask me, well, Professor Harrison, how long do you think I should spend on this course? And that's a really hard question to answer because it's different for everyone. Some people learn really quickly and they read faster than others and they can just get through the content more quickly. Other people, it takes them longer and maybe they don't understand something and they have to spend more time working on it and studying. So it just depends on the person. But I say 8 to 10 hours a week is a good amount of time. Again, that's unique to the person. You may spend 5 hours or you may spend 15. It just depends on you as a person, but I think 8 to 10 is a pretty good just ballpark idea. And again, you're doing that 8 to 10 hours includes everything. It includes you reading the chapter, watching the YouTube video lecture, studying with the Quizlet, taking your quiz, and doing your written assignments or assignments. So that's everything all in one. Of course, if you need technical help, you have the IT office's number and their email here. This last part of the syllabus is my favorite. Again, as I said before, I do not like surprises. So I will go ahead and tell you if it is not on this tentative course calendar, it is not happening. Okay, this is everything we are doing from day one all the way to the very end, clearly outlined for you. So it's all here to help you. I suggest going ahead and putting all of these dates on your calendar, whether you use a phone calendar or use a paper calendar, whatever it is that works for you, go ahead and record all of these dates so that you have those written down and you can be aware of when things are coming. As I said, everything is always due on Sunday by 11:59 p.m. The week opens on Monday, and you do have the ability to work ahead. So when you finish week 1, you can work on to week 2. So for example, for this coming week, your job is to read the syllabus. If you've been watching this video, you can go ahead and check that off. You need to read chapters 1 and 5 in your textbook, and then watch the chapters 1 and 5 video lectures. And also have a few little supplemental videos for you here to watch as well. Once you reviewed that content, you need to obviously order the textbook. I probably should have said that first. Take the syllabus quiz, just making sure you've read all this stuff and understand. There's a pretest. The pretest is a completion grade, so do not freak out. Whenever you take it, if you get a 20 out of 100, don't stress. If this is your first marketing course, I understand why you're getting a 20, okay? So it's a completion grade. If you do it, iLearn is going to give you a real grade, so you're going to see 20 out of 100, but I will go back and update that later, so don't stress about that. There's also a little introductory discussion board where I've just asked you to introduce yourself to our class. Tell us something fun about yourself. What do you like to do in your free time? Are you a junior or a senior? What are you majoring in? Just give us some info about yourself. There's a quiz for Chapter 1, a quiz for Chapter 5, and then a discussion board that links those two assignments together. That's everything for week 1. Get all that turned in by Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Then you can work on to the next week, and as you see, they're integrated throughout. I do offer extra credit, and those assignments are posted, so you can see when those are coming up as well. I try to give them to you in light weeks so that you can get them done. And everything, like I said, all the way through the very end of the semester is listed here, all the way up to the final exam. So hopefully you should be able to plan and prepare for all of those things. Let's take a look at iLearn next, just to make sure you know how it works. So at the top, you see a tab that says Course Materials and Content. Content, this is going to be where most of the things for our class are stored. So for example, you can see the syllabus, as we just went over, is there. The submission template I was telling you about for your assignments, I've included the template itself and a completed example. Let's see if it'll let me open this quickly enough here. My internet is never slow until I get on one of these calls or I start recording a video and then my internet is horribly slow. So this is the submission template. It just provides a spot for your name, the title of the assignment, and the date. And then it underlines the key term for both of your key terms, and it leaves a spot at the bottom for your references, just so you don't forget that. If you don't like the template or it doesn't work for you, that's cool. Again, you don't have to use it. As long as you've included 2 key terms and 2 external sources and you fully answer the question, you should still get full credit. Just so you can see what a completed assignment looks like, I did include examples for you in here. There's a couple of A papers, so you can see what those look like through the finished template. Let's just look at this A paper here. So you can see the directions are up here. She has underlined her key term and her page number. She's written her paragraph. She underlined her key term whenever she used it. She used a Forbes quote here, and she's quoted the author, including their last name and the year. She used her parenthetical citations here inside of the paragraph. And then she continues on to answer all the questions. And at the end, she lists all of her references in APA format. Okay, so that is what you are going to be doing each week. Okay, that same type of formatting. If you need help with APA, if you've never used APA, you're just not familiar with it, the Purdue OWL is a wonderful source to help you with anything you need. It's very thorough. It'll tell you exactly how to cite all of your sources, so that's super helpful. I also made a little cheat sheet for you here that will also help you. And then the Volp library is a great source if you're not sure where to find those sources to write your paper. You can, the library is a great source. There's also the American Marketing Association, the Journal of Marketing, the Journal of Business Research. I've included all of those for you here, so you have those as sources. Just a little hint, as you are searching for these external sources, if you're writing about, let's see, if you're writing about functional and psychological needs for vehicles, and I've asked you to talk about a luxury vehicle, don't search the name of the vehicle. Don't search Lexus or BMW, because then you're going to get all kinds of random articles about a Lexus vehicle or a BMW vehicle. Search functional needs and Lexus, psychological needs and BMW or whatever, and that will narrow down your sources and help you as you're writing your paper, help you find those sources more quickly. You should not be spending a ton of time finding those, okay? If you are, talk to me. We need to shorten that process for you, okay? The external sources are a marketing requirement in all of our courses at Tech. Everyone uses them, so they are important, but I don't want them to be taking up all of your time. Okay, and then finally here in the content, you also see all the weeks are organized for you. There's week 1, week 2, all the way to the end. Those are open for you, so you can work ahead if you'd like. Here in week 1, you see the lectures you're supposed to watch for chapter 1 and chapter 5. Those link directly to YouTube, where you get to see my YouTube video lecture I made for you to help you. There's Quizlets there for you to study, and then it gives you all the assignments that are due this week. The syllabus quiz, the intro discussion, pretest, so on and so forth. They're all listed here. And then any additional videos are also listed for you there. Here on our main page, back on the home page, under announcements, this is where I'll type anything you need to know. I always put what you're supposed to do for the week there, and I also email it to you, but it'll be listed here when you first log in. Up here under assignments, there's a link to the quizzes, there's a link to the discussions, and then the word assignments, that covers things that you're going to Dropbox, like the case studies and the marketing application responses. And then over here you see grades. That's where I will be recording your grades. Guys, I do grade everything and give it back to you within 1 week of you submitting it. So usually you turn things in on Sunday, and before the following Sunday, I've graded everything. I usually try to genuinely read every word, and I write you at least a couple of paragraphs telling you what you did well, or if you need to work on something, I tell you that too. But I try to give you very good feedback every single week. So you'll find your grade and your feedback over here in the grades tab. So please make sure that you read both of those. I think I've covered pretty much everything. Again, if you have any questions, please, please, please don't hesitate to email me on my Tennessee Tech email, not iLearn email preferably. My email is mtharrison@tntech.edu. Happy to talk to you about whatever you need. Again, you'll get a response in 24 hours or less. Guys, I hope I've answered all your questions, and I'm excited to get to know you this semester. Hope everybody has a great semester. Talk to you soon. Thank you.